for another Pickle Pod. That's right, Elsie's little pickles. We're back, man. So, have you heard anything interesting in the last 24 hours?
That's all I've got for you.
Yeah.
Instead of my usual, I can't even do that.
No.
But
so here it is, the day after the election, special recording of the Pickle Pod.
There was an election?
Yeah, apparently.
I'm just teasing you. Although I gotta admit, I think I made a mistake.
How's that?
I got confused by all the yard signs, and I think I voted for Remax.
Of course you did. Of course. You wrote it in.
It was either Remax or Keller Williams. I don't know which.
It's tough. You know, so many choices.
Yeah. If they only had some kind of pamphlet they could have given me.
Yeah. So basically what what's going on is while the election did not go the way we had hoped, as promised, we accept it. We're not saying that it was rigged. We're not saying that there was any hanky-panky with the vote or the tallies or the machines or any of that. But I do have to say this. I think it's interesting that
world's worst sex childbirth. I don't know. I'm so discombobulated.
I know it's like I
gender reveal party. That's what I was looking for. That was the joke that I failed at.
Gender reveal party. Yeah, I'm just discombobulated by the whole thing too. To be perfectly honest with you, I find it difficult to believe that a group of people that could not for 4 years stop complaining about the previous election were willing to accept the results so quickly in this election when they were saying it's rigged already for the last month and a half. So I find it very difficult to believe that it's not rigged.
They had bomb threats in Georgia. They had people lighting ballot boxes on fire in other states. But I digress. You know what? I found a solution to everything.
Oh, yeah?
Everything that's been going on.
Preparation H?
I've got a solution. And that is deep at the core of a philosophy that I've begun to follow years ago. The way you treat this is you cut it out of your life. And by saying that, I'm talking I'm going to live my life happy as can be, as always. I'm going to love everybody around me. But true to the core of my belief, if I know that you voted for Trump, you're out of my life.
Yeah.
I'm not going to tell you why. I'm just going to take my X-Acto knife, cut your little picture out of my brain. It's gone.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like I'm trying to get myself back into the position of an observer, an audience member, just watching the shit show. But it's difficult because I got to tell you, there's a lot of stuff that comes with this massacre. I mean, it was just a massacre, really. The red wave was not a mirage. It was a fucking tsunami across the board. And I think the Democrats have a lot of soul searching to do to figure out why that happened. I have my own ideas. I do have my own thoughts on that. But I guess really what we should do is before we get to the news, I had promised that I would dig up the facts about the pickle being representative or a symbol of resistance.
I was going to say representative. We're getting into politics.
Yeah,
this is awesome.
Yeah, we're running for president. We've got our own
rep.
Yeah, I'm running for president, and you can be my VP, or vice versa. I don't really care. But it has
the party will be called the Pickle Barrel.
The pickle does have a history of representing resistance, and it's been made silly by us and others. I mean, you have Pickle Rick from Rick and Morty. Okay. But as a metaphor, it represents endurance. It represents the idea of being able to carry on, being able to push forward, and doing so with a little bit of silliness in your heart.
Mhm.
And, so what I want to see is I want to see if we can get people to start going around to anywhere there's a Trump sign and just leaving a pickle on their front porch. I think that would be awesome.
What if that pickle's brown?
I don't care. It can be a brown pickle.
I'm just saying.
I know what you're getting at. Usually we would do that with a paper bag and light it on fire and then ding dong ditch.
Ding dong the ditch? I just threw it at him.
No, I would just light it and ding dong and ditch. So that's kind of where I'm coming from, is I'd like to see, if you're a fan of Elsie's Little Pickles, talk to your friends, talk to your family, hopefully get them to listen too. But please, if you see a Trump sign in your neighborhood, leave a nice fat fucking pickle on their front porch. That's how we keep the resistance alive. No one gets hurt. No damage to property.
Nobody needs to be.
No one needs any of that shit. But a nice little representative.
As best as I can to represent nonviolence in every aspect of my life. But at the same time, in the truest sense of the word of a warrior hopes and actively pursues peace, but is trained for otherwise.
Yeah. So with that, maybe have an extra pickle ready to put at that doorstep. Okay.
Well, lucky for you, I have an extra pickle in my top pocket. I always carry one.
Yeah,
you laugh like you don't. You don't carry an extra pickle?
No, I always carry an extra pickle. You got to have. All right. With that, let's start the news and kind of dissecting what last night's shit show was about.
Let's get back to a sense of normality, and I'm going to hit you with the dawn of the new era of news.
Oh, boy. Fuck.
The black-footed ferret, who was once cloned to add diversity to the species, just gave birth to 2 new kits, helping save the species.
Well, okay. Feeling a little bit better.
It's really good. They're
baby blackfoot.
Saving the species of the black-footed ferret.
Thank God. Someone needed to.
I'm looking at the pictures of the 2 baby kits, and they're adorable.
Oh, I bet. Is there anything cuter than a baby ferret?
Velvety seals.
Yeah. Although I do have to say, I just saw this. Apparently, elephants, the way they perceive humans is the same way that we humans perceive puppies. Like, they just think we're adorable.
Really?
Yeah, they think we're just adorable.
That's awesome.
Isn't that good news?
I want an elephant.
Isn't that good news? I mean, I was so depressed by the results of the election. I mean, I have been just doom scrolling nothing but cute baby animals and kids laughing and little kids swearing. Anything I can to, I went through a baby hippo phase not too many hours ago. I mean, that's really where I've been at. All right, back to the news. We got to get normal. Shake it off.
Well, along that lines, I got to admit, I've kind of done the same thing, but I went a step further. I kidnapped Mudang.
Oh,
hippo.
Oh boy. This is going to come back and haunt us. And where are you going to keep a baby hippo? In an RV?
Well, see, I've already thought about that. I've got Mudang a small doggy pool, so she can frolic in the pool. My dogs love the pool, so she's just chilling.
Yeah, it's just going to be the baby hippo and the 2 dogs.
I'm going to save a ton of money on gasoline because Mudang is just going to tow us.
Ah, all right.
You have not seen anything until you've seen a full-grown hippo towing an RV that's towing a Jeep.
Oh, I can only imagine.
On the highway.
Let me tell you something. I just want to see the harness. That's all I care about.
It's just rope. It's nothing fancy.
Nothing fancy. I didn't think you'd go fancy. I thought
I might get her a bow, though.
Oh, that'd be nice. Little bow for the top of the head.
I've got a little remote control that when I hit the clicker, instead of locking Mudang, it just shocks her anus and she lets out a... So...
Oh, Jesus Christ. This is what this has done to us. So for the listeners, yeah, like, I don't know how much sleep you got last night or how late you were watching. I did not.
I slept great because I have no soul.
Well, good for you, but unfortunately, I mean, I was just, I slept, but not great. I was having like these fits of waking up going, Project 2025. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think it's sunk in, at least for me, what this will mean now. Like, I was hoping yesterday was going to be the day that we collectively take a great big breath and go, we're done with the orange man and life can go back to normal. I really did. And now it's just this slow moving 4-year iceberg of shit that we have no idea how deep it goes.
Only time will tell.
Well, yeah. All right.
As I said,
I know you're trying to talk me out of my misery, but man.
And on that note, the next news story: kids leave Halloween candy on doorstep after noticing sign about son's hospitalization, leaving family overwhelmed with joy.
I saw one where these kids walked up and there was a bowl and the bowl was empty, and two older ones walked up and looked, and they kind of looked at each other and they started to walk away. And then the youngest walked up and looked and reached into the bag and put some candy in. And then the two older ones came and put some candy into the bowl. And I thought, oh my God, that tells you everything you need to know about how those kids were parented. Right there. That's good parenting.
There's still hope for the young generation.
God, yeah. It's little things like that just pull you through this malaise of shit that at least part of the country is feeling. Yeah, so that's a good news story. All right.
And in this next news story, they did not do this in time for me to kidnap Boudin. But rats with tiny backpacks are being used to sniff out wildlife smugglers trafficking in animal parts. And I'm laughing because I'm seeing a picture of it.
You're going to have to send me that story. So they have rats.
A rat with a little red backpack that's sniffing boxes.
And what are they sniffing for?
Wildlife smugglers trafficking in animals and animal parts.
Okay. So what do? They let a rat loose into a semi?
Yeah.
Or
that's got a little backpack.
Or do they just have them
sends a signal?
Okay. All right. I don't know that I can take
rats with tiny backpacks are being used to sniff out illegally trafficked wildlife items. Such as, it's actually an African giant pouched rat that has been trained to recognize the scent of illegal animal parts, such as like elephant trunks, and rhino horns.
Yeah.
And they're being sent into shipping and storage containers that have I'm sorry. It says here, the rodents had previously been used to detect explosives and tuberculosis, but a new scientific study has shown they could be equally successful in detecting illicit articles being smuggled.
How do you get the rats to come back home? Or they got like a little rat leash, or
they have like this little thing that's like a wire connected to their backpack.
Okay.
It's not just to carry their Yeti.
Okay.
After it's lunchtime, Frank. I brought a nice slice of Swiss. What do you got? I got some Limburger. That's why you're always smelly.
I got a nice piece of Swiss.
That's right.
You jackass. Oh man. Did I tell you that Trump won?
A reality TV show.
What?
Rats with packs. That's what it'll be called. Rats with packs. And it'll just be rats with little backpacks, and you get to see their daily.
You know what? I bet you if there's a TV producer right now listening, that they are writing that shit down because that's how fucking stupid we are as Americans. We would literally watch Rats with Packs. We would.
When they find something, they are rewarded with a food mixture of avocado, banana, and crushed chow pellets.
That sounds delicious. I can't wait to get some myself.
It does not to me because I really dislike avocado.
Same here. I fucking hate avocado. I can't.
Just can't. I don't like the taste of it. I don't like
the way it looks. I don't like any of it.
Out of all that, I would eat the crushed chow pellet. Oh yeah.
Yeah. So did I tell you Trump won?
Oh no, I hadn't heard that.
Oh Jesus.
In other news, dog rescued after it was seen floating down a canal on a shopping cart and gets adopted into a loving home.
Well,
here's a picture of it.
Great news.
Sideways turned shopping cart that's floating through water with some seaweed. This poor dog is laying on top of it, not sure what to do. Got rescued.
Well,
he got rescued.
Another good news story.
In Arizona. And now has a happy home in Phoenix.
See, Arizona, did they go? Arizona go red? Yeah, probably.
Let's face it. If it's not in the New England state area,
it's red. Yeah,
it just went red.
Yeah, aside from the West Coast.
Yeah, it's the coasts. The coast where the hub of life is, a big deal.
Yeah.
It's a shit sandwich. It's a shit sandwich.
Exactly. And here's the thing. You hear them bitch and moan, oh, we're the flyover states. Well, you fucking chose to live there. Okay? And I get it. You don't like certain things and about the Democrats or about Kamala Harris or whatever, but what do you think it really boiled down to? Was it that she didn't have enough time to really introduce herself and her policies to the country? Or is it that wouldn't have mattered anyway because Donald Trump has been, in the news for the last 10 years, every goddamn day. And before that, he had his own reality show. And before that, he was always popping off on, different media type circus bullshit and was always in the news. I mean, this motherfucker is literally, I can't, no matter how much you don't like being in a flyover state or you don't like certain policies or something like that, just the level of poor character that this man has, just the character, the transactional is, like everything. Well, I'll do that for you if you do this for me type bullshit. And everything's for sale with him. They bought it. They believed it. They believed that he was going to make bacon cheaper and eggs cheaper. Now, how is that going to happen when he deports 12 to 25 million people? How's that even possible?
Well, they discuss what they want to do, and they never discuss the hows.
Well,
how is it going to get done?
And this is not a comparison to Hitler. It's just not. But this is a fact. They tried to deport in Germany in 1939. I think it was somewhere in the neighborhood of 12 million people. Okay? We're talking more than twice that is what Trump's talking. And his cronies. And they couldn't do it because of logistical issues. Now, I don't know a country that is more regimented when it comes to logistics than Germany. But if the Germans couldn't do it, what makes Trump think that he can? Because what ended up happening was they realized it was cheaper just to kill them. That's why that basically all went down. So what's this going to look like? And
you know what it isn't going to look like? Boston's hospital is treating food as medicine with its own rooftop garden. It's not going to look like a rooftop garden there.
Yeah, you know what? You're right. That is another great story. And you're absolutely right. It's not going to look like a rooftop garden. And you know why? Because all the people that tend the gardens
Mhm.
are going
Mhm.
to be in the detainment facilities. I mean, I hate to laugh, but it's all I can do because a lot of the people that helped push him over the top were people of Mexican descent, let's say. They were brown people. And maybe you are here legally, but you're going to make sure you have your papers. If you don't have your papers, you might be going to bye-bye.
One of the beautiful things about children is that they don't have
papers.
They don't have a set of ideas that lead to racism just yet, like from their parents, construed into their little brains. And, very unlike these two unwanted dogs spending months together in shelter become best friends, and now they are a family after adoption of both.
Aww.
This happened in South Carolina, which can go fuck itself. But these two dogs are awesome.
Yeah. I see what you're doing here. I do. I see what you're doing.
I have no idea what you're talking about. I'm just giving you some news.
See, all I hear is I went at her like a dog. I went at her like a dog. Ah. Guys,
hey,
he died like a dog.
Boone and Relly spent over 450 days at the shelter. They became best friends and then got adopted together.
That is a heartwarming story. I got to tell you, you're really getting the tearjerkers out.
Well, it's about a mutual language that we can share of love.
Love and
much
happiness.
Like the story about 30 to 50% of twins develop a language exclusive to them during childhood. Yeah. I find that actually kind of interesting.
That is interesting.
Twins develop
Did RFK Jr. have a twin? Because I think he's been speaking that secret language.
I think it's safe to say that RFK's twin was probably vaccinated and did not die years ago like RFK Jr.
I
think that's the issue.
Yeah, probably
he doesn't have a voice problem. It's that he's undead.
Gotcha.
Just nobody told me.
He's going to be running all the health departments. It looks like. Yeah. Trump has been talking about him running all the health things. So goodbye vaccine. Goodbye vaccine.
In that same vein, though, you know what he won't be running? The department where two scientists have perfected a new way to turn desert air into water at much higher yields.
Really?
Yeah. This has happened at the University of Las Vegas, where RFK is not in charge, which is why this happened.
Yeah. That program will get cut by Elon, because apparently Elon's going to be cutting all the programs. He's gonna
get cut, just like the safety precautions on Teslas.
Yes.
Anyway.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's a good punch. Did you finally run out of good news stories?
Oh, no.
Oh, okay.
No. I got another one here.
In the barrel?
Huge Mastiff poses in human clothes and earns $1,000 a month for herself and her loving owner.
I don't even know what to say to that.
These pictures, it's because you don't have the pictures. These pictures are adorable. She's in a chair with like jeans and a hoodie and like some bling around her neck and this little hat. There's a bunch of photos where she's posing like, "What up, G?" And she's earning $1,000 a month.
Oh. Probably with a Mastiff, you need that dog earning money. Just pay the food bill. Not to mention the clothing bill. Is this somebody that posts the new picture of the dog dressed up every day?
That is not discussed. I wish they did talk about it more. But...
Well, it's possible that they're the same size, the human and the dog.
Yeah, it is a Mastiff.
That's what I'm saying. It's a big fucking dog.
RFK also is not in charge of a 14-year-old who won America's Top Young Scientist for inventing pesticide detector for fruits and vegetables.
Yeah, but but he might get, if that goes through testing and all the agencies to get approved, he's going to have his fingers on that.
Well, this is coming out of Georgia, which also voted red, so it can go fuck itself. But it's an interesting story because it's a young person who's doing this and may be able to save Georgia one day.
Well, but here's to hoping.
I mean,
like
there's always.
I'm wondering
hope.
if we're going to make it 2 to 4 years. At this point, like
I'm inclined to say yes, because if a clever orangutan can make a tool to retrieve floating baskets from a pond,
you sure that wasn't?
I'm just saying.
You sure that's not Trump getting the basket?
No, the hands are way too large.
Oh.
This was at the Prague Zoo in the Czech Republic, which did not vote for Trump. And
yay, Czech
Republic
has
done a great job. There was a basket floating in the pond, and it created a tool. It literally wetted down some clothing, like someone's pair of pants that I don't know how got into the orangutan exhibit.
Yeah, what the fuck's going on at that zoo?
To give it weight, and used it as a tool to bring the basket closer. What was in the basket? Maybe it was a mixture of avocado, banana, and cow pellets that it took from that animal sniffing rat. But it used it to get the basket. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that reminds me of the basket of votes that Trump got for being a fucking liar and a con man. And I just picture him taking his pants off and wetting them down and trying to get a stripper.
Oh, that sounds like a magical experience.
Yeah.
Speaking of magical experiences, a 34-year-old Megan Swan, who turns magic into something green. She basically teaches environmental magic to kids and adults who want to learn. Sounds very interesting. I'm trying to figure out a location where she does this.
So it's like,
I'm
going to pull a baby sapling tree out from behind your ear, or what are we talking here?
No, it just says it's Save the Earth Now. She does little magic tricks, I guess, to get kids interested in environmentalism. Oh, this apparently is happening in London, which also did not vote for Trump.
No, in fact, they still have their float of baby Trump.
Yes.
So,
yes, it did.
So, yay, London. I don't know, man. I'm so fucked up by this. Like I said, I've been trying to get myself happy all day. I've been desperately trying to bring my mood up all day. And all I keep thinking about is January 20th, or actually the 21st is probably when he'll start the damage. But as soon as he's in the office, in the Oval Office again, how many things is he going to do? Right out of the gate. You know what I mean? Like right out of the gate. No congressional oversight. He's just going to, presidential fucking done. That's the way it is.
Well, in other news, student inventors at UC Berkeley have created a yellow powder, half a pound of which can absorb the same amount of CO2 as a mature oak tree.
Really?
Yeah. That is fascinating.
That's really interesting.
And that also happened in California, which did not vote
for Trump. No, they did not. No. They did not.
But it's fascinating that it absorbs... How much did I just say? It absorbs the same amount of CO2 as a mature oak tree.
And that's just a half a pound of it.
Yeah, that's just half a pound of it.
That's crazy. So once it absorbs it, I wonder what you do with that then.
Well, I'm going to suggest you throw it at a Maga member. But
no violence. No violence.
Let's see here.
Oh, but I got to tell you, I did run up to the liquor store and I am absolutely, nonviolent, but I saw a MAGA hat and if it wasn't a full bottle that I was carrying out, I might have smashed it. And yeah. Sorry. I'm still spinning. You can call it lib tears. You can call it whatever you want. I'm just shocked. I'm just shocked that the country decided they would prefer a felon as president. 34 times over.
Well, much like the mango Mussolini, this powder, once absorbed, can be heated up, then dried out, and then reused.
Oh, I wish well, that's kind of what happened with the mango Mussolini.
Exactly.
That's exactly what happened to him. You know, he was in there, and then he was dried out for 4 years, and now they're reusing him. I don't get it. I don't understand. Okay. All right. Go on. Tell me more about this magic powder.
Oh, the magic powder's already gone. It absorbed up all of its CO2. But a middle schooler leads an 11.5 million.
Let's back up, Gandalf.
All right, let me put in reverse. Hold on.
Let's back up, Gandalf. So the magic powder, you just dry it out and then reuse it, and that's the end of that story.
Yes.
All right. Let's go, McGonagall.
Middle schooler leads $11.5 million project to build air filters for Connecticut schools. And this is coming out of Connecticut, which did not vote for Trump, so it can stay.
All right. So he leads this project? I mean, making air filters.
Yeah.
How the fuck does this all come about?
Shikumi led some of her classmates.
Wait, what's the name? What's the name?
You're going to stop me.
Wait. That poor little girl ain't going to be here. Shikumi is going to be Shigandhi. If you ain't white
you're just
orange,
letting the negativity of our reality seep in. You gotta stay focused, my friend.
I'm supposed to be the older brother that grabs you and shakes you and says it's gonna be okay, snap out of it, and I'm the fucking wreck, and you're grabbing me. It's gonna be fine, man. Don't worry. All right, so Shikumi, who won't be here anymore, is doing wonderful things that we won't be able to take advantage of or revel in because she probably doesn't look like what the MAGA fucking brigade who goes rounding up everyone that has a different color skin than white or orange. This is what we're getting. All right, go ahead.
Well, they're probably going to be like, how many consonants does your last name have?
Yeah.
Oh, you're out.
Yeah.
But she led some of her classmates in a design and build project at the Commodore McDonough STEM Academy in Middletown, Connecticut. Her idea was to create an air filter to clear the air of the mango Mussolini. Of the viruses circulating within aerosols through classrooms, which she managed to do with just a box fan, 4 furnace filters, duct tape, and cardboard.
So they gave her $11 million and said,
I knew you were going to say that.
Go get a shitload of box fans.
That's a lot of box fans,
furnace filters, and duct tape. Is that what I'm hearing? They gave her $11 million for that?
I've done nothing with my life.
Oh,
apparently.
Fuck. Oh, my God. We are so far behind. We are so far behind, buddy. We could have come up with that.
Oh, no. My screen just went Espanol.
Oh, great.
The revolution has started.
It's begun. Oh, fuck. This is going to be, I'm not worried about necessarily between now and January 20th. I'm not worried about that. What I'm worried about is the first 100 days of his administration. I think that I think people are going to, like, those who voted for him are going to be cheering all these things, and then they're going to get incrementally more draconian. And by the time these policies start actually affecting his voters, it'll be too late. And at that point, all I'll be able to do is go, well, this is what you wanted. It's what you voted for. How you like them now?
Well, imagine March when gas prices haven't moved and they've got to find an excuse.
Well, again, yeah, you're absolutely right. People go, I liked Trump because gas prices were $1.27 or whatever the fuck they got down to, right? Well, yeah, that was during the pandemic, and we were all locked in the house. We couldn't leave. We couldn't drive. Of course, it's going to come down. Supply, demand. It's that thing.
How it works.
Yeah, it's that thing. What is that called?
Economics.
No, well, yeah. Supply high, demand low, price low.
Well, speaking of supply being high, Belgians grow the heaviest pumpkin in Europe, weighing as much as a Honda Civic.
Again, all I see now is Trump because it's a pumpkin and it's big and it's fat. Oh, fuck, God, I'm just
that one through.
Yeah, you didn't think that one through at all. That one.
And much like Trump, it weighed 2,539 pounds.
You know what I'm looking forward to? Honestly,
what are you looking forward to?
With this administration, the next Trump administration, I am really looking forward to seeing how people react when the reality sets in. I'm very curious how many people will be like, yeah, it was a bad idea. You know what I mean? Like, or maybe I'm wrong again. And maybe he does end all the wars. And maybe he does a wonderful job and the economy is great. And there's peace on earth. Which one are you leaning towards? I'm not leaning towards that one. I don't think that that's going to be the case. But I will enjoy watching the realizations.
I'm leaning towards hearing somebody that supported his ideas crying about it. And I just start laughing and pointing.
Oh,
that's all I'm going to do.
Yeah, it's all you can do. Well, like I said, this is where we go back. I mean, yeah, we got wrapped up in it, right? Because it's political season. But this is where we actually get to go back to being spectators and just pointing out shit. The thing that will be interesting to me is how much he's going to come down on media. I'm very curious to see how because he hates being criticized. And
yes,
he's already talked about like CBS should have their broadcast license revoked. All it takes is him revoking one FCC license from a large company, and either everyone else is going to band together and go hard against him, or they're going to fall in line. And the problem that you run into is there's a lot of benefit for like those new kind of conservatives, the smaller ones, OAN and News Nation and shit like that. There's a lot of potential for them to become state media.
You know what's ironic is I hooked up the local cable here in my undisclosed location. And on the basic cable, I didn't get Fox because I was looking for a football game. But the good news is, I guess, we didn't have really Fox news stations. The good news is there was actually 14 QVC channels.
No.
I counted them.
Really?
QVC, 14 of them. 14.
The fuck you need 14?
And included in this basic cable that everybody can get for free was OAN and Newsmax.
Really?
Yeah. Yep.
Interesting. Well, like I said, I think
if only I could develop some type of AI system that just filters out Trump talk, much like this AI safety system stopped a train after detecting elephants from crossing the tracks ahead. This happened obviously in like India, which it did, the Assam state of India. But the AI system stopped the train.
Yeah, but that's an issue in India. You don't have that issue in the United States. You know, you got other issues in the United States. But when you have elephants,
you been to Florida? Do you know how many fat people?
Well, no, I'll tell you what. You know where? What was it? San Antonio. I was there performing, and they had just won the fattest city in the country award. It's like, okay, great. And literally on the river walk there, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was so there were so many obese people, like literally walking around themselves, having to swing the one leg out and swing the other leg out and around. But like I said, we don't have an issue with elephants randomly crossing train tracks.
No, but we have issues with, semis and stuff crossing train tracks.
Well,
The
you would think
system
that, yeah, you would think that
has
that same,
prevented 800 potential collisions with elephants.
and that those elephants looked at us and went, "Aw, you're adorable."
I was waiting for that. You're so cute.
You're so cute.
Once they're potty trained, we can keep it. And Egypt has finally been declared malaria-free after 4,000 years of infections.
See, you just got to put your mind to it and not give up.
Yeah, exactly.
After 4,000 years. Holy shit.
4,000 years.
Oh, my God.
It used to kill 600,000 people every year in Africa. But in Egypt, they did it in 4,000 years. They became malaria-free.
Well, here's to you, Egypt. Raise your glass.
It's the slave-driven cart. You just kept telling it to go.
Keep going.
It finally got there. Enough whipping.
Yep.
They crossed that finish line. 4,000
years. Look, there are people that are like, oh, I don't know if I could do a marathon. I'd be the last one. 4,000 years.
4,000 years. They got there.
Do your marathon. I don't know. I heard that they already started pulling people off of that Project 2025 LinkedIn thing. They're already going through the applications.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So you're going to have a lot of people that pledge loyalty.
I should put in my application for a Department of Good News.
Oh, that just bringing the happy guys.
I'll do it for $25 an hour.
Yeah. Good luck with that. And getting
$25 an hour.
Yeah, they're not giving that. I'm terrified. I'm sorry. When you start getting people that have to sign a loyalty pledge to the president into the bureaucracy.
Loyalty pledge.
Yeah.
That sounds like something. Welcome to AA.
Yeah. No, it's going to be a lot worse. Oh, fuck.
Nice. That's nice.
That's a very nice. Thank you so much. So what's your prediction? Is he going to prevent us from going into World War III, or is he going to cause us to go into World War III? And on that, I would say the big part of the question is, does he pull us out of NATO, or does he keep us in NATO?
Well, that's the ultimate question, is whether he's smart enough to stay in NATO or not.
I think I know the answer to that.
At the same time, he's kind of Putin's little lapdog. So I'm not really sure how that's going to work out. I think no matter who is sitting in that office, they've got plans in Russia. They don't give a shit. Well, I should say he don't give a shit, as in Putin.
Yeah.
Not the Russian people.
I think he's just looking at it going, I can control Trump, so I'm going to get what I want.
I do know, though, that a sunken class ring was returned to a Canadian man who lost it in 1977 off the coast of Barbados.
Aw.
That's a feel-good story.
Class of what?
The class, I don't know. He's old. But he lost it in 1977.
And somebody just was able to track him down?
Apparently.
See, I don't get that. Yeah. I don't get that. A guy can lose a fucking class ring in Barbados in 1977. And now, here, all these years later, somebody's like, I found your ring, I found this ring. All right. And good on you. You found the ring. And even better, you go, it is my life's mission to find this motherfucker. I'm going to find the man and reunite him with his class ring. How in the hell?
He says that one day he took his younger son and waded into the ocean, and he was knocked over by a wave. So I reached for my son to grab a hold of him, and he pulled on my hand, and my Mac alumni ring came off. We searched for it, but was unsuccessful.
I wonder if it was engraved with his name and address and phone number or some shit.
Well, maybe his name. He graduated in 1965 from the Faculty of Science.
Okay, well, that makes a little bit more sense. If the name was engraved on it, and then you knew what school it was, and then you contacted that school, you might be able to get in touch somehow from the school to the person. I can see that happening. But still, I mean, that's a lot to go through. You know what I mean? I don't know that I'm a nice enough person to do that. I would probably be like, hey, cool, fucking ring. Look at this. Let's go up to the jewelry store and see what they'll give us for it. I don't know that I would take that kind of time out of my life. I'd like to say that I would be that guy, but I don't know that I am that guy.
You know what kind of guy I think you are, though? I think you'd be willing to take on this lady who, at 95 years old, she dominates the pickleball courts, and her recipe for success is, I keep moving.
I'll smoke that.
I would like to see you just smoke her.
I will smoke that bitch. I don't even know how to play pickleball, but I will smoke that bitch.
I think it's your duty to learn to play pickleball, since it has the word pickle in it.
I have a neighbor who actually, this is no joke, next door neighbor.
Oh, God.
Literally, he does cement, right, as a side thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
He took his driveway and took a big fucking part of it and turned it into a pickleball court because his wife likes playing pickleball. So he literally created a pickleball court on his driveway.
On his driveway.
Yeah. I was like, dude.
Interesting.
And it wasn't, I mean, even with him doing all the work, it still wasn't cheap. It was still like, $5,000 or something to put this pickleball court together. And I'm like, dude, you love her way more than I love anyone. I wouldn't do it. I'm sorry. You love her more than I love myself. I wouldn't do it. But I'm going to smoke that 95-year-old. You watch. I'm going to go next door.
Just drill her into the fence.
I'm going to go next door right after we get done recording. I'm going to go, hey, I need you to teach me how to play some pickleball.
You keep moving like that, and you're going to end up with a larger, healthier brain, because a new study of over 10,000 people revealed regular physical activity is linked to larger, healthier brains. So you go drill that 95-year-old lady into the wall and be like, lady,
I'm
working on a larger, healthier brain.
Yeah. All right.
So you feeling any better yet?
You've made me feel a little bit better. All right. At least to the point where I'm not going to step off a bridge. You did make me feel a little bit better.
Well, some people call that bungee jumping.
Yeah.
I digress.
That's what I wanted to do. What do you think I was talking about? The fact of the matter is, for all the listeners, I know there's a lot of people out there that are very shaken by this, and you should be shaken. You should absolutely be shaken by this. But it doesn't mean that the end is near. It doesn't mean that the end is here. It just means that if there are policies that are being enacted that you don't like, you need to reach out to your representatives. It means that you need to step up and become a little bit more active and fight against, even if you voted for them. Even if you voted for him, I guarantee you, there's a lot of people that voted for him that did not read Project 2025 or Agenda 47. They don't know what's coming. They don't know what he is going to do or is not going to do. And to be honest with you, I don't even think he fully knows what he's going to or not going to do, because I think a lot of it for him is just off the whim. And what he thinks people are going to, go, oh, sir, very good, sir. The fact that the Resolute desk is going to get another Diet Coke button bothers me. I'm not going to lie. That seems silly. But a lot of this seems silly. A lot of this seems scary. And I'm sure that there's a lot of people out there that are really shaken up. I know that because, again, I was on the socials, and you had people that were in tears posting, and then you had people who would take those posts and ridicule them and call them all kinds of vile names. This is exactly the reason I didn't want to see him win was because of this owning a lib or, owning a maggot or whatever, like this back and forth nastiness. That's really what I was most worried about with the Trump win, is the continuation of the vitriol and the division. And I don't think that that's going to go away. I think that it's going to change. I think because the first time around, he did not know what he was doing, and nor would you expect him to, really. I mean, anytime somebody gets elected president, you're learning on the job. However, he was not a politician before, which is the reason why a lot of people voted for him in the first place. And it's also the reason why a lot of people voted for him this time. He's not a politician. And they think that because they're not very well educated on government and how, economics work, or how shit works, right? And why would they be? It's not important necessarily. If you're the dude that just spins a wrench, or you're the guy that is a welder, or you're a farmer or whatever, you don't necessarily have to know all the details of all those things. And I get that.
You know what, though? I want to publicly announce that starting tonight, I will be starting a list of people to smuggle out of the country. If you've just had enough, I'll start a list of people to smuggle out of the country. However, to get onto this list, you will have to supply me with a box fan and 4 furnace filters
and a roll of duct
that I will
tape.
be reselling to a student in Connecticut.
At a highly...
And I will not be able to... There's an asterisk on this, because I won't be able to help you if you happen to run across a rat with a backpack and he is sniffing you out. You're just shit out of luck.
You better hope that there's an elephant following that just thinks you're adorable.
That's right. You smell what I was stepping.
And with that, I think that's another Elsie's Little Pickles. Good luck, motherfuckers.